time we answer a question on your stock in a little segment we like to call Your Stock, Our Take. Buy, sell, or hold.
So MamaMancini's Holdings Inc., MMMB on the NASDAQ, currently trading at a price of about $1.90 and has about a $69 million market cap. So MamaMancini's is a manufacturer and distributor of all natural food products that contain no artificial ingredients, including beef meatballs with sauce, turkey meatballs with sauce, beef meatloaf, chicken parmesan, and other similar meats and sauces. And in addition, the company continues to diversify its product line by introducing new products such as ready-to-serve dinners, single-size pasta bowls, bulk deli, packaged, refrigerated, and frozen products, including meatballs in a cup, of course. Looking at the operational updates on the company here. So in June of 2022, the CEO, Carl Wolf, stepped down as the CEO and was replaced by Adam Michaels, who previously worked for Mondelez International, which is a multinational food and beverage company with operations in over 150 countries. Now, in December of 2021, the company acquired two gourmet food manufacturers located in New York for about $14 million. And these companies were T&L Creative Salads, which offers a full line of foods for retail food chains and club stores, delis, bagel stores, caterers, and distributors, as well as Olive Branch, which is a premier gourmet food manufacturer which sells olives, olive mixes, and savory products to a limited number of large retail customers, primarily in prepackaged containers. So the new acquisition is expected to generate about $35 million in sales during 2022. And essentially, management did say that these acquisitions do have products that are symbiotic with the existing MamaMancini's distribution network. So they did say that they expect some synergies here. Now, the acquisition has added new national and regional customers and provided an estimated 3,000 new locations and over 10,000 spots on retailer shelves in January. And the price that they paid for the acquisition was about 0.5 times sales. So moving over to the recent financials here. So you can see here Q3 2022 revenue was $25.7 million, an increase of about 137% from $10.9 million. Now, this increase in revenue for the third quarter was driven by organic growth across all divisions, where they say primarily through cross-selling, but as well as by inorganic growth through the acquisitions of T&L and Olive Branch. Now, profitability did improve here, where they posted adjusted EBITDA of $2.1 million compared to just $300,000 last year, and net income for the quarter was $1.1 million, or 3 cents per share, compared to essentially nil or just break even last year. And we can see the profitability coming up here essentially because they are seeing some cost inflation start to ease, which I'll kind of get into in a bit here. Now, as at Q3 of 2022, the company held about $3.5 million in cash and had debt and leases of $11.7 million, providing a net debt position of about $8.2 million and a net debt to EBITDA multiple of about 5.3 times, which again is a little elevated because we've seen those margins come down in the business during the last year here. And looking at the valuation multiples, trailing earnings are negative, so we cannot look at a trailing PE multiple. But on an enterprise value to EBITDA multiple basis, the business trades at 50 times right now. And just for fun, if we anticipate that the company can replicate its Q3 EPS of 3 cents over the next 3 quarters, the business would be trading at about 16 times forward earnings. So to conclude here, MamaMancini's is a name that we have monitored for some time, as the business has shown a strong track record of revenue growth, although earnings have fluctuated on a quarterly basis, especially as of recent, while the company has battled with cost inflation. Now, looking at the company's Q3 2022 results, the business appears to be on the tail end of these cost headwinds, posting strong growth and profitability driven by both organic growth and its acquisitions. Now, as Ryan said, We have both interviewed Carl Wolf, the previous CEO, in early 2022. And at that time, he indicated the business was dealing with elevated costs such as chicken, ground beef, and plastic packaging. However, he noted that the company was implementing their own price increases and saw potential cost saving synergies of over $1 million through its recent acquisitions. And he included recent growth pillars for the business, including its jumbo meatballs, which are being sold through club stores, its frozen meals for one or two, which essentially this is like a 14-ounce high quality frozen dinner, which he said they're getting these into a lot of stores. And then, of course, my favorite, the meatballs in a cup, which is in the infancy stage, but these are essentially frozen meatballs, which are defrosted at the store and sold as a lunch takeaway. And they began to sell these in convenience stores last summer. Now, more recently, during the Q3 conference call, the new CEO, Adam Michaels, indicated that commodity costs continued to improve in the quarter. And he also said, well, it's still very early. Preliminarily, the fourth quarter is shaping up well, and we are on a healthy trajectory moving into calendar year 2023 and beyond. Now, though the trajectory appears promising, we continue to monitor the business at this time as, number one, the business does have relatively high net debt and leverage ratios. Number two, the business is trading at relatively pricey multiples, and we don't know if they can replicate that, 3 cents per share earnings over the next few quarters. And number three, for the company to continue to grow through acquisitions, it will likely need to take on more debt or potentially issue some shares.
Yeah, I mean, there is a long-term track record of revenue growth. We did see them move back. I mean, if, like you said, if you could annualize that last quarter, 16 times earnings, if it continues to grow, is not a bad multiple, particularly if they can bring down their debt levels. But yeah, I mean, I think that they, the last quarter was a significant turnaround, and that's what we would like to see for the business going forward.
You bet.
And keep those.
So if I ate a bunch of
MamaMancini
food and called it research, does the company pick up the bill, or?
Of course.
I'm hungry.
I'm sure they'd send us some balls in a cup if you really want. That would be perfect. But I mean, honestly, I have tried it. They're pretty tasty. They're pretty tasty.
Quickie meals and
what's that?
Right up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
I
just say, send me some meatballs.
Send me some meatballs.
Ma, send me the meatloaf.
Hey, Ma, living the dream. We get some meatloaf. That.
Yeah,
but you can't. Can you get the food in Canada?
I'm not sure. I know, like, it's all through the U.S. It's
Yes, it's primarily through the U.S. Like they're in Costco, but again, it's like, they've got like basically one branch of Costco,
Sam's, all those.
It's like Sam's Club. Primarily U.S. Yes.
Well,
get on it. Get some cups of meatballs.